welcome to round 3. We have a pretty decent opening hand here. If we are able to draw a third land in the first couple turns, we do have Long Tusk Cub on turn 2, which will be fantastic. We are on the draw. So our plan here is turn 1 Forest, pass the turn 2 Swamp, play Long Tusk Cub, and hope to just start the beatdown plan. Follow it up with a Filigree Familiar if we can draw that third land in the first couple turns. And there it is. So we will follow the plan that we've set out. Playing Filigree Familiar first seems like the best plan just because by blocking with it early we do get to draw that extra card, which is great. Alright, so we're going to play Long Tusk Cub out. And because they have a blocker up, it makes me want to play Thriving Rhino out first, so that we do have the ability to give this a +1/+1 counter. So, because they have 3 open green mana, I'm a little reluctant to attack into a creature because they could have any number of the couple combat tricks in green that cost 1 mana, so I'm just going to pass the turn. I'm not willing to risk my Long Tusk Cub. Okay, Bristling Hydra. So our opponent is on the blue-green energy plan. Malthus Squad. So Malthus Squad is probably our best play this turn. If we play Malthus Squad, and the next turn we can play both Filigree Familiar and Narnum Cobra. We could also play... So the question is, do we play Malthus Squad and make a servo or put a +1/+1 counter on it? Let's make the servo, just because we can chump with it a little better. And Bristling Hydra is a little scary right now on this board. Aether Theorist. Mono Energy on the opponent's side. Not willing to attack with the Hydra. Okay, so we draw another land. So I'm content to just sit back. I know I've got plenty of removal spells in my deck. And now, next turn, we can start attacking with Narnum Cobra. Opponent reveals a mountain, so I would assume that they have Era of Innovation. Okay, sweet. So I would assume that they have the ability to make infinite Thopters. Well, not infinite, but... Okay, so another land. Unfortunately, we're starting to flood out a little bit. So I'm willing to trade... Our worst trade, and the best block for them, is to just block with Sage of Shayla's Claim. So I think we're just going to attack with Filigree Familiar and Narnum Cobra, and then play out Lawless Broker. I guess attacking with Malthus Squad would also work, but it would die. It would only trade for whatever else blocked with the Bristling Hydra. I'm doing this because I want to draw the card anyways. We draw another land. We'll pass the turn. Whirler Virtuoso. 2 sweet decks back to back. That's awesome. 16 energy. That is a ton of energy. And we are flooding out. Okay, so this turn I could attack with Lawless Broker and Malthus Squad, and they could just make a bunch of Thopter tokens. What's the best block? How many energy do they have to pay for this? 6. So we're not going to win in the long game here. I probably should have beat down earlier, but at this point, I think I need to attack with Malthus Squad and Lawless Broker. The best thing for them to do is just make a bunch of Thopters and block here, but I'm not going to win unless I somehow am able to get through damage. Whirler Virtuoso plus Era of Innovation is silly, so I will definitely be bringing in artifact removal. I would assume the Bristling Hydra is going to get pumped up here. Yep. We'll put it on Thriving Rhino and pass the turn. White as well. Okay. A Servant of the Conduit. We'll play it out and pass the turn. Still 9 energy on the opponent's side. Or do we need to start beating down? That's the real question. The Long Tusk Cub gets blocked by Bristling Hydra. Perhaps we just need more energy. Riparian Tiger for the opponent. And we're going to take a bunch in the air. They currently have 6 energy. They have played this mountain already. Pima Outrider. Unfortunately, I don't think Pima Outrider changes our situation here. We're completely outclassed on the other side. Let's make a servo. Unfortunately, we're just going to die to these flyers, most likely. We still don't have favorable attacks. Captured by the Consulate. Okay. Glintness Crane. Does the opponent reveal anything? They do not. I would assume the flyers are coming in. Yep. So we're going to bring our answer for flyers in again. Gonti. Okay, let's see what we get from Gonti. Wildest Dreams. That is very interesting. Glimmer of Genius, also an option. Minister of Inquiries, we're not on that plan. We can't make enough energy. Where do the rest of these go? Bottom of the library. Okay. So Wildest Dreams seems like the most interesting thing here, because then we can start making some attacks that might not be beneficial. So let's do that. And we'll leave it up here for now. And we'll pass the turn. So they're going to make another Thopter, I would guess. So we do have a window, if they choose to continue doing that, to kill the Bristling Hydra when they have less than 3 energy. But it doesn't look like that's going to be a possibility anytime soon. So we'll block the Glint Nest Crane here with Gonti and take 7. Oh, it doesn't have flying. For some reason I thought Gonti had flying. So we'll take 8 instead. Down to 3. And I don't think we have any way to answer 7 Thopters. We do not. So we'll concede this game and go to sideboard. So there's no way I'm going to win the long game against this opponent. I have to bring in the takedown, I think. And I would like to bring in the Appetite for the Unnatural, because I don't think I can beat Era of Innovation once it gets going. So let's take out the Durable Handicraft. And Fabrication Module? No. Yeah, let's take out the Fabrication Module as well. My thinking here is that I'm just not winning the long game. I need to have creatures. I need to be able to beat down, and I can't really afford to take out any creatures. But at the same time, I'm kind of at a loss here. So let's submit. Welcome to Game 2. We are on the play, and a Renegade Freighter in our opening hand with enough land to play it means we keep. Renegade Freighter is probably our best way to beat this opponent. Early pressure, and hope they stumble on mana, because they are playing 4 colors, it seems. Splashing Captured by the Consulate. Okay, Takedown's a great card against them as well if they manage to get that Thopter thing going again. Aether Theorist. So next turn we will play the Renegade Freighter out. Followed by a Thriving Rhino on the following turn. And just start beating with the Pain Train. Oh, sorry. I thought that was another Aether Theorist, but instead they are scrying on upkeep. The scry went to the top. Okay, there's the Era of Innovation. Nature's Way. Okay, so let's play Thriving Rhino. Get in with the Pain Train. So they could have a select for inspection here, which would set us back. They do not, so we'll pass the turn. Another scry on upkeep, and this scry goes to the bottom. Captured by the consulate. It can still crew vehicles. So it is going to do exactly that. And we'll pass the turn. Still no creature that I really want to play Nature's Way against. Card goes to the bottom. Minister of Inquiries for the opponent. A Ghirapur Guide. Okay, so I am willing to Nature's Way that, but I'm not going to do it this turn. I will wait till next turn. So let's Renegade Freighter first. Attack for 5. Opponent goes to 5. Let's play Ghirapur Guide and pass the turn. So next turn, we can make the Pain Train unblockable by creatures with power 2 or less. And assuming that they are unable to create a creature with greater power, we are probably in a pretty good spot. We also drew a Hunt the Weak for the turn, so let's play out the Forest, crew the Renegade Freighter. We'll attack with both. Make it unblockable by creatures with power 2 or less. Appetite for the Unnatural. Okay, sure. So in that case, do we want to hunt the weak one of their creatures? It makes Ghirapur Guide lethal next turn. So yes, let's do that. Let's hunt the weak on the Aether Theorist, because at this point, until they start creating a bunch of energy, the Minister of Inquiries is not a worry to me. I also have Nature's Way to kill it next turn if I need to. Alright, the opponent scoops it up. So I'm fine with the changes I've made already, so let's go ahead and submit. Game 3 against an opponent with an awesome blue-green energy deck, splashing white and red as well. We have a great opening hand, so we're going to keep this. We are on the draw. Play a Forest, pass the turn. And we'll get Longtusk Cub out there as soon as we possibly can. Era of Innovation for the opponent. We will play Longtusk Cub and pass the turn. Next turn, we will probably play the Narnam Cobra and leave up Blossoming Defense. Janjeet Sentry. Okay. So Thriving Rhino was a great draw for us because now we can actually attack through the Janjeet Sentry. It still has Summoning Sickness, so it can't tap anything. And we will put a +1/+1 counter on it since we are getting more energy anyways. And we'll pass the turn. So next turn we will probably play out the Filigree Familiar and keep up Blossoming Defense, attacking with both creatures. Although we might start seeing Janjeet Sentry be a problem, but we do have Blossoming Defense, so perhaps we will use that. Ooh, and Appetite for the Unnatural against the Era of Innovation. So let's attack with both. Assuming Janji Sentry is going to try to tap down here. So we're going to Blossoming Defense and attack with both. Putting a +1/+1 counter on the Thriving Rhino. And then at end of turn, we will Appetite for the Unnatural, the Era of Innovation, and pass the turn. Next turn, we can play out both Filigree Familiar and Narnum Cobra. Riparian Tiger for the opponent. Nature's Way. That was an awesome draw, because now So I would assume that the opponent is going to tap down the Long Tusk Cub, but that doesn't stop us from Nature's Weighing the Riparian Tiger. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to put a +1/+1 counter on Long Tusk Cub and Nature's Way the Riparian Tiger. Go to combat. Janji Sentry will more than likely tap down the Long Tusk Cub and will attack with Thriving Rhino and play Filigree Familiar. And we will pass the turn. Experimental Aviator. That's a good card. Okay, Subtle Strike. That was a good draw for us. So let's go to combat. Assume that this is going to be tapped. Filigree Familiar is blocked by the Experimental Aviator. Thriving Rhino probably gets a Thopter. So Subtle Strike, we can probably do a +1/+1 on Filigree Familiar and kill the Experimental Aviator. So we can attack with all, since they didn't tap anything down. And we'll see how they block. So, Janji Sentry. So we get a +1/+1 counter on here. This is only 4 damage. And we give the -1/-1 counter over here. So that's what we're going to do. -1/-1 on the Experimental Aviator. So that's 5 damage to kill that all. So, yep. -1/-1, +1/+1. That lives. And the opponent scoops it up. All right. Well, thanks for watching. We had a pretty sweet black-green counters deck. We managed to go 2-1 overall. We got to play some pretty awesome matches against some opponents with really sweet decks. So I hope you enjoyed this test run of BTS Magic, Let's Play Magic. Please give me some feedback and let me know what you think. We'll see you next time.